Let's look at the next topic, and the next topic is just a brief one. It's on interest adjustment payments. So we'll just look very briefly at what an interest adjustment payment is, a little bit how it works. There's nothing for us to calculate. We'll just look at conceptually what these are. So an interest adjustment payment on funds advanced is a payment that occurs when the lender advances the funds to the borrower before the mortgage loan period actually begins. Another way of saying something similar is the interest adjustment period then is the time period between the date the funds are advanced and the beginning of the first payment period. Now this is easier to see on a timeline, so let's put a timeline up and see what we're talking about. So this timeline represents 3 dates. July 5th, this is the date the sale completes and the funds are advanced. So, thank you for that. I'm surprised it took, I was amusing myself with my little anecdote and also lost track of things. So the timeline that we have depicts 3 dates. And the 3 dates will be July 5th, August 1st, and September 1st. So July 5th is the key date. So this is the date the sale completes. The completion date, that's the date you need the money. Well, August 1st in this instance is when the payment period and the mortgage begin. 1 month later, the first payment is due. So interest adjustment payments occur when the loan is advanced, in this example, on July 5th. Now, every loan doesn't have to have an interest adjustment period. You could arrange it such that the loan begins on the exact same day the sale completes, in which case there'd be no interest adjustment payment. But typically people make their mortgage payments based on some uniform schedule. So on the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month or halfway through the month or the end of the month. And they coincide with their payments with how they're typically paid in their household, so how they receive their own income. So because people like to time those payments with how they're paid, that means that it won't necessarily be the case that when the loan begins will be the same day as the completion date. Well, if the loan begins on August 1st and the mortgage clock starts ticking such that 1 month later you make your first mortgage payment, if somebody needs the money early, in this case on July 5th, the lender is happy to loan the money early, but they will charge interest for every day early that they loan the money. So in the case of this example, we have an interest adjustment period between July 5th and August 1st. So interest will accumulate during that time frame. So interest accumulates for every day early the loan is advanced. There's a couple of ways to calculate this. The most typical way would be, suppose $100,000 was advanced on July 5th. Well, that $100,000 will grow with interest every day to be, let's say, $101,000 on August 1st. Well, if your loan was $100,000 and it grew to become $101,000, well, the difference between $101,000 and $100,000 is $1,000. So the interest adjustment payment in that case would be $1,000. So the interest adjustment payment simply reflects the interest that accumulates per day when the loan is advanced prior to the actual start date of the loan. So all you really need to know is, what is an interest adjustment payment, when does it occur, and a little bit about how that amount would be calculated, and that's it. We don't need to do any examples of interest adjustment payments. We could, they're just present value and future value calculations, but we don't need to do any. So just understanding what it is generally is sufficient.